Expeditionary education is often associated with adventure education, outdoor education, environmental education, or experiential education and refers specifically to learning associated with exploration and journey-based experiences or expeditions within these fields. Usually involving elements of challenge, adventure, and leadership, expeditionary education can take place in a variety of settings including wilderness, classrooms, and even virtual spaces, the internet. Participants in expeditionary education can be directly involved in the expedition, or may be linked to expeditions undertaken by others. Webster's Online Dictionary defines expeditionary as of, relating to, or being an expedition. Expeditionary education is of, relating to, or being an expedition within an educational framework. Expeditionary education may be mistakenly defined as a subset of or synonymous to outdoor education, adventure education, or experiential education. While many expeditionary education programs of, or being an expedition could be defined under these existing fields, such as Outward Bound, or NOLS, educational programs relating to expeditions may take place in the classroom and not outside, requiring adventure, or experiential in nature are becoming more prevalent as explorers and expedition-based researchers strive to connect educational content to their projects. Adventure education. Environmental education. Environmental studies. Experiential education. Outdoor education. Expeditionary education can be an educational expedition one participates in, programs of or being expeditionary education. An expedition with educational agendas of various involvement levels for non-expedition members, programs relating to expeditions. The origins of expeditionary education could be thought to extend far back into early human history through hunting and gathering expeditions where traditional ecological knowledge was learned. Potentially one of the first formal applications of expeditionary education were the field trips conducted through Henry David Thoreau and his brother John's Concord, Massachusetts grammar school in 1838. Later in the 19th century, a summer camping movement was established in response to anxieties about urban and industrial influences on children. During this time, expeditions into nature were combined with informal educational pursuits. Scouting, a movement started in 1907 by Robert Baden-Powell, initiated widespread development of practical outdoor skills which often incorporated expeditionary components like camping, backpacking, and canoeing, and has grown to 38 million members in 216 countries 100 years after its inception. By the late 20th century, expeditions were being used as educational vehicles by many private and public sector groups and has grown into large groups such as Outward Bound, serving over 200,000 students in 2006, and National Outdoor Leadership School, who have trained over 120,000 people. Various contemporary groups and programs are discussed in #programs. Expedition as a mode of educational pursuit has its theoretical and applied roots in many soils. Many people, theories, and practices can be identified as influential. John Dewey, philosopher, educational reformer, and proponent of experiential learning. Kurt Hahn, founder of the Gordonstown School and Outward Bound. John Muir, philosopher, naturalist, conservationist, inventor-writer, and wilderness traveler. Paul Petzold, founder of the National Outdoor Leadership School. Will Stater, Arctic explorer and educator. Henry David Thoreau, philosopher, naturalist, transcendentalist, tax resister, surveyor, writer. Willie Unsold, facilitator of outdoor, experiential, and expeditionary education. Experiential education theories. Group development theories. Outward bound process model. Psychoevolutionary theory and the biophilia hypothesis. Stress, optimal arousal, comfort zone, and flow, psychology, theories. Research has been conducted on various aspects of expeditionary education. Correlations between a controlled exposure to challenge and psychological resiliency have been found by researchers James Needle and Katika Diaz in their study of young adult outward bound participants. In a review of 150 research studies conducted between 1993 and 2003, general findings of positive impacts from outdoor learning and another meta-analysis, focus areas such as self-concept, leadership, and communication skills were shown to have positive gains during the educational experience, and in contrast to many educational interventions, significant ongoing gains in follow-up reviews. While these and other studies point to positive results, The difficulty of drawing causality between psychologically gained elements in these programs and empirically based studies exist in the number of variables to control for and the strength of experimental designs. The Outdoor Education Research and Evaluation webpage. Ground Truth Trekking. Expeditionary Studies at the State University of New York at Plattsburgh. Outward Bound Expeditionary Learning Schools. Science Expedition in Puget Sound. International Wilderness Leadership School. The Expedition Education Institute, offering gap year and study away semesters in ecological leadership. Paleontology Expeditions. Natural History Expeditions with Oceanic Society. Teacher Education Fellowships with Earthwatch Expeditions. Expeditions for teachers and kids from Galapagos to Learn EE from National Geographic. Ground Truth Trekking. International Polar Foundation. Education Interactive with Expeditions in the Arctic. NOAA. A geography companion to the children's book Paddle to the Sea with Google Earth. Note, you need Google Earth to run this link. Adventure Learning Connected to Arctic Expeditions. Hawaiian Island Tolls Expedition. A standards-based guide for the Lewis and Clark Expedition from the government's National Archives. Satellite/expedition research in the Sea of Cortez. Virtual expeditions with the Jason Project. Some schools ask an Antarctic research vessel some questions and do some stuff on their own. Immersion Presence, a division of the Sea Research Foundation Incorporated.